Okay, so let us now start. Siguro it's already 3:05 and this session would only last for 40 minutes. So we'll now start. So once again, good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to this learning session. Joining with us are our friends from Manila. Hello, Sir Ron. Hello, Sir Leonilo. And hello, Surigao City. So I hope we are all doing fine. So I will not make a long introduction since we are only here for 40 minutes, and after this we will go to another link for the DOST session. So if you are ready, kindly type in a short message on that chat box. I muted the speakers kaya para makafocus kita no kay bagan join pa yung mga drama diha na ako nabatian kaina. So ako tag-mute ang mga speakers. So kindly type in short greetings on that chat box so we would know if you are ready. Okay, so messages are coming in. So again, welcome to this webinar. So to start, I'd like to share my screen. Okay, so in this session, we will be talking about distance learning techniques and approaches. So if you have questions or reactions, kindly just type in the chat box, okay? So let's start. So in this session, we have 3 objectives. First, we will familiarize different distance learning strategies. Then we will get acquainted with some mobile apps and platforms that can be used for distance learning. And at the end of the presentation, I will be sharing some techniques in conducting distance classes. So once again, this is only good for 40 minutes, 30 minutes for discussion, and 10 minutes for question and answer if you have questions later on. So why distance learning? So I think we have seen this on Facebook. According to Governor Gwendolyn Garcia of Cebu City, mag-unsa man ang edukasyon ug patay na tong mga estudyante, di ba? So in other words, safety and well-being of our students and teachers should be one of our concerns, no? So safety and well-being. That is why it is impossible for us to see our students face to face because of the current condition. That is why we have to embrace new methods of giving them the education that they deserve. In April 30, according to USEC Alain Pascua, our classes will start on August. So I think some of you have listened to the announcement of Secretary Briones this morning. And so it would be on August 24 yata, the opening of classes. However, it's impossible for us to have the normal that we used to have. So that is why we have education in the new normal, this will be actually discussed by Sir Leonilo on Wednesday, no? So new normal in education. However, just a quick view of what it is. So new normal indeed is a combination of may ato face-to-face, but not really the face-to-face that we used to have, and combination of online and offline interactions. So what is distance learning? Distance learning is otherwise known as distance education, e-learning, and online learning form of education. This form of education is not new to us. For some of us who have already gone to postgraduate studies, some of our professors have been giving us modules, right? So it's already a form of distance learning. So not only, distance learning is not only limited to online, but it can also be non-wired. So I will also discuss that later. So distance learning is a form of education in which the main elements include physical separation of teachers and students during instruction. So since there is physical separation, so we have to use various technologies to facilitate student-to-teacher interaction and student-to-student interaction, because we can only be assured that there is learning that is happening or taking place when there is interaction or communication. So there are different types of distance learning. There are 6. Actually, there are a lot of this, but I'll be sharing 6. So one is called distance education via video conferencing. We have the so-called synchronous and asynchronous distance education, hybrid distance education, computer or mobile-based distance education, correspondence learning, and non-wired flexible learning. Or these are the offline means of learning. So I'll discuss them one by one now. So distance education via video conferencing, like what we are doing now, this is already what we call distance education through video conferencing. What is the use of this video conferencing? Why is this important? So it is important to see our students, diba? Because we can be assured that we are really talking and interacting with them. Unlike na kung chat lang, we cannot be sure na it's the students who are really answering, basin ang silingan or ang parents, no? So video conferencing helps to improve communication and re-establish relationships. So there are a lot of video conferencing platforms. Each of the platform has their own advantages and disadvantages. One, for example, for Google Hangouts, it supports up to 10 participants only for unlimited in duration, but it is only good for 10 participants. For Skype, Skype is also a good platform, but it only supports 50 with unlimited duration. Then free conference, it can accommodate 1,000 audio participants, but only 5 video participants. So what is well known now is the Zoom meetings that we're using now. So Zoom meetings, ang basic, no? Basic na Zoom can accommodate up to 100 participants in 40 minutes. So if we want to go beyond that, we have to purchase the Zoom app. So what we're using now is the free version. Okay, that is distance education through video conferencing. The second type is the synchronous and asynchronous distance education. So when you say synchronous, as the name suggests, learning happens at the same time. So when you meet with your students through webinar or virtual classes at the same time, so that is synchronous. When we say asynchronous, it indicates that learning does not happen at the same time. So the teachers can only provide learning materials, lectures, tests, or others that the students can access and accomplish at any time. So it is more flexible, so asynchronous. So the third type is a combination of asynchronous and synchronous. We call it hybrid distance education. So hybrid distance education is the combination of asynchronous and synchronous learning in which the students are subjected to follow specific deadline to complete their work. So for example, in a 4-day session, you have to discuss for 1 day, and then in the rest of the periods or rest of the sessions, you give them offline activities or projects to accomplish. So in hybrid distance education, students are permitted to complete assignments on their own time and submit those assignments through online forum. Okay? So that's hybrid combination of synchronous and asynchronous. Then the fourth type of distance learning is computer or mobile-based distance education. So computer or mobile-based distance education is a method where students can access our course material on computer or their tablets or their cell phones. So we may provide them with CDs or DVDs or mobile and computer-based applications. So some of these mobile applications will be introduced by me, and others will be shared by Ma'am Josh Feliciano of DOST SEI later. So are we ready for this computer or mobile-based distance education? May capacity ba ang students nato to participate in this type of modality? So in 2018, I did a research on CIMATAR. It is called Affordances of Strategic Intervention Material in Teaching with Augmented Reality. And in that research, I conducted survey on how capable are our students to participate in this type of learning modes. So I found out that out of 100 participants, 85 of them have smartphone. O, di ba? Dili siya dili siya imposible na magamit because our students have the mobile devices. 28 of them have tablets. Okay? Others have tablets, both tablets and cell phones. Others even have laptops. Okay? Then in that research also, 52% of the participants use their gadgets for 3 to 5 hours a day. 13 of them use them more than 5 hours, especially during our situation now. Siguro pag malobat, saksak. After ma-full charge, gamit. So in other words, our students are really engaged with this technology. So with that, there is indeed a possibility of using this type of learning. The problem lang is the internet connection. Tama? Okay, so gadgets of the students in that research are used by them for social media, for entertainment, for playing games, for Wattpad. Only very few of them use them for studying. So what does this mean? So with these findings, we can see that we have, as teachers, we have to engage our learners in educational activities. We have to make use of their devices to be able to learn. No? So teachers like us should also be knowledgeable and skilled on how to use these devices in teaching and learning process. Dili siya imposible. We can do it, no, in our classes. However, there are places, no, with no connectivity and no gadgets. So digital inclusion in low-tech community will be shared to us by Sir Soji of Nigeria on Wednesday. No? So we have to listen to that presentation because he will be sharing to us the techniques that they use in Nigeria in dealing with low-tech community. So they can still integrate technology despite the problems or the lack of resources. Okay, the fifth type is correspondence learning. So correspondence, sulat-sulat. So the teacher provides instructional materials by mail or email, no, electronic transmission, including the examinations. This is what St. Paul University is doing now. Ang mga materials, ilalang isend sa email or Facebook group. So that is a form of correspondence learning. So how applicable is this to our situation here? Sa mga teachers na nag-teach sa islands, so siguro kung walay biyahe, padala lang sa lancha ang activities. No? That could be a form of correspondence learning. So what's the difference between correspondence and the other modes? In this modality, it relies on self-paced learning of students and does not include any face-to-face interaction at all. Padala lang tanan ng activities, no? So no face-to-face interaction. It is instructor-centered and not student-centered. It's a one way of communication. So that's correspondence learning. The next type is non-wired flexible learning. So non-wired, there are many forms also, but these are the most commonly used ones. Project-based. So we are using this already. So project-based learning is learning by doing type of delivering lesson. So we give students real-life situations that they can work on, applying the lessons that they have learned from us. So that is project-based. Then another type of non-wired flexible learning is radio broadcast. So we can tap our radio stations, FM stations, our AM stations like this one, Kidlap sa Kaalam, no? Or if we want to deliver our lessons na announce sa radio, that can be radio broadcast. So when worst comes to worst, so worst case scenario, sinana na lang, pwede natin i-deliver ang lesson through radio broadcast. Another way of delivering our lesson is television broadcast learning. Sa pagkakuman, wala na ini, mga Hiraya Manawari, Bayani, Matinik, Siniskwela, sa pa ng mga, sa nang kay Kuya Kim. Napaba ka na ng ABS-CBN? Ambot kung nag-expire na ba ang ilang license, no? So, but netizens have been requesting ABS-CBN and DepEd to bring back this television series na mga programs that are educational. So, pwede na siya television broadcast. Then, another method, no, na very common is modular learning. Okay, deliver on-demand learning kits or modular learning. This is where we can use our strategic intervention materials, our activity kits, no? Our learning modules. Okay, so that is non-wired. So as of now, dapat mag-start na tapag. So wala pa yung mga SIM, hinahinay na nato paghimo ng SIM. No? So that is modular learning. Okay. The bottom line is, education can still happen even during emergencies through distance learning. We cannot say na i-close na lang ang school kay hadlok taog COVID. So according to the summit that I attended last night, one of the speakers there said, there should be no lost year. So dapat walay mawala na chance for our students to learn. Because lost year could mean lost hope or lost dream. So that is why we have to do something for our learners. There is no one-size-fits-all solution and instruction. So dito mo ingon nga, kanila ta, gamit rin ng Zoom, Pirmi. Or we should only use this type of distance learning technique. So there is no such thing as one-size-fits-all. What is important is we have to familiarize our context. We have to know the capacity of our learners, and also we have to upskill ourselves on how to use these resources, these apps, to be able to deliver the education that our students deserve. Okay, so that's the bottom line of that usage of distance learning. Now I'll be sharing about useful mobile apps. Okay, how many of you have used Whipper School in your classes? Hala, may I see hands of those who have used Whipper School? Aha. Ang iba, dili pa familiar? Wala pa. So, unsa man yung Whipper School? Okay. Whipper School. So, these are some of the apps no, that I'm introducing. Whipper School, Google Classroom, Kahoot, and Facebook, of course, no? Ang pinaka-common. So, Whipper School is an online learning platform that engages students in learning and supports teachers in class management. So, this can be applicable to elementary, junior, and senior high school. So Kuiper School provides 1,000 of high quality topics for grades 4 to 12. So walay grade 3, no? Grades 4 to 12 in different subjects, no? Including English, Math, Science, Aral Pan, Filipino, and ICT. There are also subjects for senior high, mga special subjects. The educational content in Kuiper has been created with the help of experienced Filipino educators. So, di na ito maglisod pag contextualized because it is already K to 12 based. So why is Kuiper advisable to be used, no, in distance learning? So Kuiper would enable us to access DepEd aligned K to 12 content. So as I've said, these are made by Filipino teachers, expert Filipino teachers. So with this K to 12 content, you can send ready-made content to your students. You can give it as assignment for them to study and answer. Another thing, you can automate administrative tasks. So instead of doing the checking or sending homework and recording the grades, Kuiper can do the task for you. Another advantage of this is after giving the quiz or the assignment to your students, you can get real-time data on student performance. You can get instant feedback on your assignments, and students can earn in a form of virtual coins. Pero di siya convertible to cash na. Okay, how to use Kuiper School. So for City High teachers, they already have made their accounts. Para sa wala makagamit, this is how we do it. You go to kuiper.com, or if you have the Play Store, if you are holding your cell phones now, you can download it on Play Store. Okay? Then, after downloading or after going to this site, school.kuiper.com/n-ph/ so you go to Kuiper School Teacher Portal. So sa teacher portal, do not go to student portal because student portal does not contain answers, no? So just go to teacher portal because the quizzes there have already the answers. So when you go to teacher portal, you have to sign up if you don't have the accounts yet. So sign up, 3 steps lang. You have to provide the necessary data, like your name, your email, your password, your phone, then your region, your division, and your school. Then presto, nanaday ng account. Then after having the account, you create your own class. So if you're done creating your class, you will be provided with class code, which you can share with your students so that they can join your class. So that is the class code, for example. Now, for students, again, do not let your students access the teacher portal because the teacher portal contains already the answers. So for students, they have to create their own account. So same process like what you did in the teacher portal. Then after signing up, so you have to provide them with the code so that they can enter your class. Okay, so how does it look like? I will share another screen for Kuiper. So this is how it looks like. So for example, junior high school, Science 8. So for Science 8, it's already complete with the contents from 1st to 4th quarter. Force and motion, earth and space. So when you click on that specific module, there are list of topics, complete siya, K to 12 based. So if you click on one specific topic, for example, this one, so the students could read the content with objectives, completo. So the content and the questions. So every lesson has 10-item question provided for the students to answer. So that is why it's very important that the teacher portal shouldn't be accessed by your students, because teacher portal already contains all the answers of the quiz. So it's complete already from first to fourth quarter. So how to create the class? So there you can have your classes and you can monitor their performance. Okay, the list of students, then management. So that is how Kuiper School looks like. Okay, now, going back. Can we still follow? Okay lang ba, mga ma'am and sir? Clear pa? Okay, so to continue, let me go to another app. This is called Kahoot. Wait. Okay, so who among you here have already used Kahoot or is familiar with this application? May I see hands of those who have used this one? Kahoot? Or nakabati na ng Kahoot? La pa. So Kahoot is an application that enables you to create your own quizzes. The quizzes here are called Kahoots, no? So you can create it for seconds lang, no? It's very easy to create. And these quizzes called Kahoots can be played anywhere, anytime by your students. So instead of giving them paper assignments or quizzes, you can give them this as your homework, no? Kahoot na homework. So how to use it? So same with the Kuiper School, you have to download it in Play Store, or you can also access it through Google. Just type in Kahoot. Then you create your account, then you create your quiz. So after creating your quiz, so this is an example, no? You can see on screen the Kahoot that I made. So after creating your quiz, you choose play or study. If it is for play, you may assign it as a challenge to your students, or you can host it live in your class na kung ano. All together, they will answer. No? So after you assign it, whether a challenge or at the same time, so kung challenge, you'll be given time limit. When are they supposed to answer? So deadline, no? So you create it, then you'll be given with code that you can share to your students. You can text it to them or you can send it through Messenger. Okay, so that is Kahoot. Then another important or useful application is this Google Classroom. So Google Classroom is free for schools. It makes it easy for learners and instructors to connect inside and outside the school. So same with if you are familiar already with group, what's that? Facebook group pages. Actually, same lang din siya. But this one, the advantage of this is it is easy for you to, so these are the advantages, wait. So it's easy to set up. The teachers and can add students directly or share code parehas sa Kuiper. It saves time. It allows the teachers to create, review, and mark assignments quickly. It improves organization, wherein you can have your, what's that? Your assignment page, your documents, your photos, so you can easily organize your content. It also enhances communication, wherein Google Classroom allows you to send announcements and start class discussions instantly using this Google Classroom. It is also affordable and secure. Okay, so that is Google Classroom. So how to use it? you can go to this site, https://classroom.google.com. So if you are a teacher, you can create class, or if for your students, join class. No? So to create class, same with Kuiper, you input your class name, section, the subject, and the room. Okay. After that, you will be provided with class code. So the class code is found on the left side after the name of your class. So you have to invite students by giving them the class code. Same with the Kuiper school. So you can invite them through your class codes. Then after that, you can already share something with your class and add the needed files, maybe videos or PowerPoint presentations. You can organize that here. Unlike sa Facebook na, when you share your files, na lang sa one ano lang, saan siya? Just share and you cannot organize it. But here, you can organize your files. Okay, so that's it for Google Classroom. Now, Facebook. Facebook, I believe that we have been using this one already in our classes. Tama ba? Who among us here have been using Facebook to communicate with our learners? Who among us here have been using Facebook to share our topics? Kung wala pa, so here are some of the tips on how to use Facebook. So Facebook is not only for sharing memes, sharing our sama ng loob, or sharing masiunrakan our mga pictures, but Facebook can be used for educational purposes by creating e-learning groups. So in-depth learning groups, you can share your e-learning content and allow your students to participate in e-learning course-related online discussions. Okay, so how to use Facebook? Here are some tips. First, you use Facebook to create a strong sense of community among your learners. So make it your Facebook group can be an avenue for students to share their ideas. Di lang para lang sila mag chat-chat ng wala lay kapuslanan, but that can be used for creating a sense of community. Facebook can also encourage peer-to-peer discussion through your Facebook groups. Okay, you can use Facebook messages to reach out to your audience and break your e-learning content into short and simple Facebook posts. As I've said, so this one is the disadvantage because you cannot organize your content in this one. Unlike in the other platforms, the Kuiper and the Google Classroom, you can organize your content easily. Another tip, create a group and post supplementary resources for your audience. You can ask learners to carry out research on Facebook. Actually, on Facebook, there are many contents that we can find. Not only K-drama, no? K-drama daghan sa Facebook. Not only memes, but we can allow the students to do research on Facebook, but we have to be careful, no? That their, the content that they are searching are reliable sources. So 7, get invaluable feedback for your e-learning course by Facebook polls. So pwede magpa-vote, no, through Facebook polls. Then number 8, use Facebook to send reminders and notifications. So na yung mga event notifications, so pwede na siya sa Facebook. Okay. So I have 3 minutes more for the discussion. So these are some essential strategies for new online distance teachers like us. First, choose your content, your online teaching platform wisely. Dili lang kay ganahan kita ini na kuan, amo na. No, we have to choose it wisely. We have to make sure that the platform is accessible, easy for students and parents to use at home, equitable. Does it have printable activities for students without reliable internet or device access? Actually, Kuiper can be used offline. So the contents there, you can have the students print it, no? And they can use it offline. Communicative. So will the platform allow the students to talk directly to you as well as their peers? Pwede ba maka-chat? Monitorable. So can you monitor the activities of the students using that platform? Then sustainable. So those are the things that we have to consider in choosing the online platform. Then another tip, create a parent-teacher partnership for online learning, for online teaching, for online teaching. So we have to consider the parents as our partners, especially for those schools na like Science High, special science class, special programs. You can request your parents. However, for some, medyo malisod, but we have to capacitate our parents also. But before we let them assist us, we have to actively involve them first. We have to orient them on the content, on the strategies, what they can do to help us, and then how to log in that particular platform. So involve our parents. For sure, our parents are also very willing to assist us. Okay. Deliver engaging online teaching content across multiple modes. Dili lang puro video ang atong ginasend. Napula na sab ang bata og video presentations, then reaction. We have to modify or we have to provide them with multiple modes like this one, live classes through Zoom or Skype. Video lectures, you can record your video, save it on YouTube or upload it in your Google Classroom. That can be. Then set activities with games, no? Students are fond of participating, especially kung gamified ang atong lesson. So you can use Kahoot. That's actually a form of game. And other resources. You can use Jeopardy games also for your students. You can search a lot of them in your Google. You can also start class blog, no? So let them create blogs and then let them comment or critique each other's work. That can be a form of communication. Okay, structure your online teaching to create a sense of routine. We should not let this activity die its natural death, but we have to make it sure that we are delivering it through regular and predictable schedules. Like when, for example, for science grade 7, with Ma'am Aldenis, for example, because I see Ma'am Aldenis here. Hello, Ma'am. So, for example, for your students, you have to set specific schedule for them to log on. No? So, you create specific places for different learning resources. So, that is why Google Classroom can be very helpful. So, you add in there your videos, your links, your handouts. You also create flexible timetable because there are students who do not have access to internet. Then set weekly goals and targets and engage with students daily. Maski text lang sometimes, but you have to engage them. No? Another tip, you have to let your students talk to each other. So there has to be student-to-student communication. You can do this through discussion boards, live chat, through Zoom or Skype. You schedule a weekly show and tell. For example, you show them a picture where they can react. So, which will enable students to talk to each other. Then peer review activities can also be provided. Then keep your relationship with your students strong. No? We may be separated by distance, but social distancing, pero dapat we have to create relationship because education is actually relational. No? Students, according to a quote I forgot, siningon, students would not care how much we know, but they would really care how much we make them or how we make them feel. So dapat we have to create that type of relationship. So how to do it? You upload daily welcome to class video, record individual student feedback. If students are not online, then you have to to find ways to check them, how they are doing. You also share your experiences and you keep the tone personable. So meaning when you give your students, it would be in a form wherein you can create good relationship with them, you can motivate them, no? Despite the situation. But more importantly, be kind to yourself. So put some strategies in place to support your own well-being. So there is a time for office work. There is a time for your family. So you have to set aside time for your own self. Dili kay anytime mo contact ang parent or ang student, you have to answer. You have to set your rules also. So this might be setting office hours for parent and student contact, scheduling a love pastime for the end of the school day, or creating comfortable working from home space. So it's already 3:44, parang 1 minute na lang ba ang nabilin? Sige, so I guess I have delivered the presentation. So we are now open for your questions or comments. Hala, any question? Ako i-unmute. Sige, anyone who would like to ask? Dahil 1 minute. Anyone who would like to ask? Or who would like to ask? Sige.